We're recording.
Good afternoon. We're going to call the meeting to order at 12:10 this afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Roll call. Tina, you have the sign-up sheet if you want to go over the people that are present.
Yes, so Mr. Jose Zuniga,
Present.
Mr. Juan Gonzalez,
Present.
Ms. Eva Montoya, present. Mr. George Gonzalez,
Here. Present.
and I believe Oscar Lopez hasn't joined us yet. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 3, approval of minutes. God bless you.
Bless you.
Approval of the minutes for May 11, 2022 and May 27, 2022. I believe you all received copies via email, and there's also copies on your packages. I make a motion to approve as received.
I second.
Second by Mr. Gonzalez. Everybody in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries to accept as presented. Citizen comments, we'll leave the floor open for citizen comments at this time. Treasurer's report, financial update on Laredo Housing Finance Corporation.
So included in your package, you will find the most updated, your bank account for the Laredo Housing Finance Corporation. So you still have an ending balance of $86,353.68. There has been just 2 small deposits. Well, 1 small deposit and 1 accruing interest from your monthly deposits of the bonds, I believe.
Thank you, Tina. Any questions by any of the board members? If not, I make a motion to accept as presented. Second by Ms. Montoya. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries to accept as presented.
Mr. Zuniga. Okay, for the May 11th minutes, just looking at them a little bit more closely. It says Mr. Gonzalez did this, Mr. Gonzalez did that, but I don't know if it was Juan or myself. So maybe when you take the minutes, if you'll put Juan or Jorge, yeah, just so I can remember what we.
It was all Mr. Jorge Gonzalez.
No. We were both here.
No, thank you for pointing that out, and we'll make sure that we just specify which
one?
Mr.
There's too many
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Which Mr. Gonzalez said.
You can put Jay Gonzalez.
Yeah. No, good point. We will make sure that we know the full name.
Okay, thank you. No big deal.
The elder or the young?
The senior or the younger?
The senior.
Never mind.
The senior.
Item number 6, finance operation and status report by Captain Real Estate Services Inc. and city staff with discussion and possible action on Hamilton Apartments, repairs, improvements, leases, operations, and management. We open floor.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and present. I didn't see the variance letter. Was it not in there? If not, we can go off of the profit and loss statement.
Okay, yeah, this was what was submitted to us, right? This is all that we had received. We have the budget comparison, we have the check registry, and then we have a balance sheet.
Okay.
Those were the only things that were sent to us.
It was
maybe-
we didn't print
That's-
it out,
that's okay.
not that particular.
If you want, we can print it out. Do you want us to?
It's fine, it's
Okay.
just, I mean, I'm gonna go over the narrative and we can follow along with the profit and loss.
Okay.
So let's go over the financials real quick and then we can go into the other items, if you don't mind. So for September, and I'm gonna read off the subtotal. So I'm looking at net rental income. We were off by $8,000, and that's primarily from the loss to lease and some vacancy. The property is currently at 90%. At this time, it was at 92%, but we're pre-leased at 93%, so that's a positive. Year to date, the income is off by $47,000, and that is primarily because of the vacancy and the loss to lease that we talked about last meeting, and we'll go into detail with that when we talk about the rents. The other income was slightly off by $11,000, and that is because, well, 3,000, that's because of commercial space. So the total income was off by 11,000. If you add the 8 with the net rental, and then you add the 3 with other income, that equates to almost 12,000. Year to date, the other income is off by 30,000, and that's primarily because of commercial space. So month to date and year to date, we're at 77,000. But there's a positive, expenses are way under. So if you flip the page and go to payroll, you'll see that we have a savings of 17,000 for the month of September, and year to date 41,000. Below that admin, it's slightly under by $85 for the month and 4,000 year to date. Marketing expenses are under by 262, and year to date 968. Utilities is a little bit over. We talked about the electric, how it's in arrears, so the following month it should balance out, but the water and sewer has gone up considerably, so that's a little bit higher. And then the electric, we talked about the last 2 months. So the utilities are off by 7,000 and year to date by 20, and that is primarily because of the electric and the water and sewer. Maintenance repairs, those are under by almost 4,000. Month to date, year to date, it's by 13,000. And then you have your property management fee that's slightly under because of the income. And then taxes and insurance is under 2,700, and then 51,000 year to date. Service related is a little bit over, and that's because of the elevator service. And then year to date, it's 9,000 over because of elevator services. So the total operating expenses are under 11,000 for the month and 85,000 year to date. So you have a net operating income, it's slightly off by $18 for the month, and then it is positive 8,000 year to date. And part of the savings of expenses, even if you back out the taxes and insurance, we're still 34,000 under, and that's primarily because of payroll, admin, and maintenance and repairs.
Can I ask you on the insurance, does this reflect the 43,000 payment for the renewal? I don't think it does.
No.
Not yet.
Yeah,
So we'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And then the CapEx, we went into detail about that, and we've been talking to Mr. Delgado about the replacement reserves. So we are able to draw up to 13,000 for this quarter, and then the only problem with it is that you have to actually pay the invoice to draw off of it. So we're working with vendors to get them paid, so we'll be able to draw more. So overall, the property's doing really well. We still have some payables that we discussed, but we have a plan in place. We have a plan in place for a few rental increases, nothing major, just some gradual, like we talked about, to burn off some of that. And then the vacancy, if we can get the occupancy up, that's another 8,000.
You said we had an income of 8,000, but I see a loss of 6,375 on the budget comparison.
Where are you looking?
I have the Hamilton budget comparison, September 25th.
What account code are you looking at? Does it say?
I'm looking at the actual year-to-date.
Hold on 1 second. Maybe there were a few, I thought I had the final version, but maybe there was something that got moved.
Is that page 4?
What page? Okay.
Page 4.
That is
Page four.
before.
Yes.
Let's see.
Year to date, it's showing net income 73,000.
No, on the actual, it says net income negative 6,875 on the year-to-date.
What line?
Yeah, the
It's
last
the
one.
last one.
Oh, at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's with the CapEx and your interest and principal payment.
So that's.
I was
our-
looking above the CapEx at the net operating income. That's where I pulled the 8,000.
Well, we need to take in consideration all expenses at the end of the day.
Yeah, you had 22,000 for plumbing, that's year to date. You had 21,000 that actually hit the books for September. There were some rehab costs of 19,000. So the CapEx year to date, we were projected to spend 148,000. We've only spent 83,000, which is a 64. And then if you look down below, you have the legal audit, that was 12,000. So yes, you're correct, it's 6,800 for the actual year to date.
I was gonna ask Tina, on the 2 months when we paid the higher rates on the electricity, we can't go back to the carrier and
We tried.
get some type of credit for the vehicle? I mean,
We tried, and I think what happened is that we all actually also switched. We're not using the same carrier anymore. If maybe we were using the same carrier, they would have some consideration, but since we're not even using the same carrier anymore,
Okay.
I think that's where they they said they were looking into it, but we never got a response. I think that's, no.
This report also, I don't think it includes it's a $13,000 electricity usage that.
The one that we just-
The city paid,
Yeah,
and then we asked for reimbursement.
it'll be like for October's.
Oh,
This is
it'll be in the-
September's.
Yeah, it'll be in the,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's just like the insurance will be in.
Yeah, because that one was that was for August. So in October, you'll be paying that one plus September.
So instead of having a loss of 6,000, we have a loss of about 50,000,
No, it's,
including the insurance payment and then the electricity.
yes.
Well, the
Actually
thing
more
is
than
that
that.
it looks like we're budgeting, right? So the budget is set at electrical, monthly electrical. I mean, if I'm reading it correctly, is it 3,007? I mean, we're way over 3,000 a month. Is that?
Yeah, so that's 10,000 additional plus the 44,000 on the
And
insurance.
what happened is that when we did this, when we realized that they had gone up, the city had helped secure that lower monthly payment, but then they weren't getting the invoice, so apparently the city had paid the invoice.
Yeah.
So now the city's asking them to reimburse that invoice, but then you're talking about, there was no payment from September.
That was
August,
August, that was the
September.
August billing.
Yeah,
that
so
the
there's
city
2
paid.
months.
Yeah.
So so now that we rectified it, what's gonna happen next month is you're actually gonna get your actual bill plus
The previous.
the
month.
previous 2.
So
Previous-
the electric for the monthly expense, that's an account code 7310. So we budgeted 9,300 for that, so there's a little
Oh,
bit
okay.
more budgeted. The other one would be a capital expense if there
Oh,
was
I
an
see.
electrical
Oh,
problem.
I see, okay. So
So-
which line item was it, 90, what? 73?
7310.
7310.
Okay. But even at that, 73,
Yeah,
yeah.
so the year-to-date variance right now is only 10,000 off, so that should come down.
Oh, so this 15,000 that was actual, so you all did get the October payment and did pay the October,
This is September.
September?
Yeah.
So August is the
It's in
only one
arrears.
that the city paid?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
So
But
we
the thing
already-
is that-
That was for 15?
But, no,
So
September,
like, he's
I
down
think,
$15,000.
I haven't received the statement yet, because I'm supposed to receive it, and then I'm gonna forward it to you.
Okay.
Because you don't receive it directly, so
So what's that 15?
this one doesn't include September or August, which is the one that the city paid.
Yeah, so then what's that 15?
Hold on.
Yeah, let's just make sure that, or let's make sure we didn't double pay it, maybe you all paid it
Yeah.
and then the city paid it, and then that's different.
Yeah, well, it was together with the city statement, so it was in one statement, so it was paid, by the city, the whole
amount.
statement, yeah.
Yeah,
Those-
this was,
Those 3
um,
accounts for Hamilton were included within the statement.
No, it just has, September 7th, but it says Cavallo Energy Texas.
Yeah, that was the previous,
You see, so,
Caballo
oh yeah,
was the
so,
previous. The new one is
why,
Reliant.
yeah, you all should not be
Oh,
paying
and that
Caballo at all.
period was from 8/26 to 9/25.
No,
Yeah, Caballo
No,
should,
no,
you
no,
should not be
that-
paying Caballo anymore.
that should have been Reliant.
And we haven't received, you see, most of the invoices we get copies of, but I haven't received a copy
When
from
did-
Caballo in a while.
When
Since that last one,
When did it switch over?
since July.
July 25th.
Remember, that was the last one that we received, like 20-something thousand. So I don't know what that $15,000
Yeah,
one
because
is.
there was 20,
Maybe it was like a little balance, you know how when you switch over,
It
no,
could have been.
we'll look it
maybe the
up.
last few days. But yeah, make sure that invoice, what
that-
days
the
are they
dates of
charging
service.
you?
Well, it
Because-
says on here, I just need to verify, it says period 8/26 to 9/25.
It's mentioned July.
8/26.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, that's not correct, because that is just mirroring what our financial period is. So let us look into,
Yeah.
hold
Just
on,
check
I
it.
haven't had enough coffee, I apologize. It's July 13th
Okay,
through July
13th, July
27th is what it's,
okay, and that's, so that was the last
That should be the
invoice.
last.
Okay, so that should have been your last invoice from
Caballo.
yeah.
Okay, good. So then
So
that,
as July, we're busy in August and September.
yeah,
Because
so
it's in
August
arrears.
But
accidentally,
August, the city paid.
so accidentally got paid by the city, so then that one is gonna be sent,
Yeah.
yes. And then you'll start seeing September and October. Did they already send those? Have you
In
sent-
September, they haven't.
Okay, good. Obviously, they're probably put off time is different. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Don't have any
So-
other
so after the
questions?
insurance, then our real loss is about 60,000?
Oh, well, no, the insurance hits
It will-
another, the insurance comes from the loan, right?
Mhm.
So the insurance, well,
Yeah,
you won't
that's-
see it here.
No.
Cause it's paid on escrow.
It's an escrow.
From your loan.
Yeah.
So that one, that's why that one won't be reflected here. So
I think they
that
already
one
paid
shouldn't.
it. I remember.
It's already been paid.
So that one won't hit this. You will see the reflection of that, you know, of that additional light bill. So-
Yeah, the negative would be probably like around $35,000, with the $13,000, the 6,000 here, the $13,000 that the city paid, and then the September invoice, which we expect to be around $14,000.
So I guess that was my concern is I know we budgeted for $9,000 monthly light, but now we're gonna start seeing an average of a 13. Yeah. So just,
It's like regular increases.
and now the
Restaurant
restaurant,
has
yes.
been
So
going
now
up.
you're gonna see that increase. So it might not even be 13, it might
On
end up
the capital general, the 19,000 for the rehab cost and the 21,000 for plumbing.
The
There
19
was some
was
leaks.
for the, yeah, in the vent hood for the restaurant.
They had some bad leaks that they were working on. At the last meeting, they discussed it. Did they fix them?
And the plumbing?
That was the plumbing.
That was the plumbing,
Mhm.
And,
Ariano's plumbing?
well, we have, so it was 40,000? Well, we have 19 on rehab and then 21 on plumbing.
Yes, 40,035.
So it was 40,000?
Or does that rehab cost include other rehab in the other units?
No, that's
No, the
for the
rehab
vent
cost
hood.
is-
That's
is
just
straight-
the vent
Oh,
hood.
that was
I
the,
think
Yeah.
one payment of the vent hood.
The-
Oh.
half-
I thought
half
the
of
vent hood
that.
was gonna be 15.
And then
It
the
was
other
19?
ones are little leaks, like, and they add up. So, like 710 had a toilet line, sewer line, kitchen sink, shower. I mean, these little things add up from
The vent hood?
400 to
The vent hood was like
800.
this. So that they cut it into payments.
So there was, or wasn't there?
So, at the last meeting, we talked about some of the expenses that we're not expecting to incur are plumbing. There's a lot of plumbing issues at the property. So, I don't know if it's, because residents just put things down the toilet that they shouldn't, or,
It's just old plumbing.
And once
For
it
the
gets
plumbing.
involved, then it just,
so there's been quite a few clogs.
It's a cast iron.
It's cast iron.
I guess it was
and
also
it could be
discussed that
really
maybe there was gonna be a
severe
plan,
Mhm.
to do the repairs maybe by floors per year.
Yeah, to flush out the lines, you just have to be real careful when you do that, not to put too much pressure. So we're gonna work on preventative maintenance to help eliminate some of the expenses. And then there's been some major plumbing leaks that we've had to take care of.
Yeah, but you weren't here when we discussed some invoices that weren't paid as well, so.
So now they're trying to catch up, so that's why you will see a little bit more expenses. And they're not actually expenses that we're incurring, it's expenses that we're trying to pay down.
From the past.
From the past.
The worry here is we're running this thing with a negative budget. So how long are we gonna last if we keep doing that?
Can I speak, or is he talking?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I was waiting.
He's
I
asking.
was waiting. We're aware of that, and it's primarily because of some of the expenses. So what we're doing is we're looking, we have 18 units that we can lease right now. So we're trying to get the occupancy back up because after COVID, it kind of slowed down. And then there's some rent increases that we're doing. We're doing a very moderate, low rent increase, like $50. So we're working on that angle as well. So if we can burn off some of the loss to lease, because there really hasn't been a lot of big push with rents because of COVID and everyone's scenario. And I understand that this is a program for the citizens, so we're aware of that, but with expenses and utilities that go up every year, we have to offset that at some point. Somebody has to, either that or we're gonna have to pitch into the property. So we already have a plan in place, we're working, it's a gradual increase, it's $50, which is very low. Most people do 100 to 200, and that's pretty much throughout the state of Texas. So it's a very moderate increase, but that will help us with our cash
That gives us an
position.
extra $7,000 a month. If, once everyone gets on that plus 50, it'll give us an extra 7.
And also, remember we discussed looking at the equity on the rents, because at
Yes.
one point all studios were the same, all, regardless of subsidy and regardless of, we can't, it has to be regardless of subsidy. So all your studios, all your 1 bedrooms, all your 2 bedrooms have to be at the same price, especially because it's concerning that we have different programs paying rents. And
Different
if
prices.
they realize that you're charging different rents to different people, that's concerning. So we just wanna make sure that so once you get those, that might give you a little
Yeah.
bump also.
But who's looking at that, you guys?
Yeah.
That
How long
adjustment
is
has
that
to be
gonna
done
take?
first.
You guys are looking
It'll be a gradual increase. I mean, it'll be, you can't raise anybody until their lease term's up. So it'll be a ramp-up program. So new people that come in will be paying a little bit more, and then renewals will be getting a small push. So within 6 months to 9 months.
Can we get a list on the unit numbers and renewal dates?
Sure. Yeah, we have that.
That way
We
can
used to
get an
receive
idea.
them on a monthly basis, your rent rolls, can you start submitting to us on?
Do you want
a
like the
monthly
last day of the month?
Sorry?
Do you-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your rent rolls, and that would give us,
With maturities and contracts?
and late fees and all that, it should be able to tell us all of that.
So then on the equity question, but you guys are gonna go back and look at what we're charging for, whatever. Has that already been done?
I did,
We've
so I
done
kind of
that.
did a spreadsheet,
Okay.
and it was, I basically looked at what City of Laredo, what y'all are, and it was the 539, 589, and then 708.
585 and 708.
And then I also did Laredo Housing Authorities, there's a huge difference, and I also have like the variance on that too.
Yeah, because that
No.
adjustment has to be.
It was mine,
has
I
to be
was
done
gonna
first.
show, but I can
Yeah.
send it to y'all, and it's gonna show the difference of what we could be making and what,
How many
We're
people do
losing.
you have right now on the section one, section 8
Section 8,
vouchers?
I think it's like 14 people.
The
What's the
adjustment has to be
potential
done
of,
first before,
how much
before
can we
doing
be
the
making?
The rent.
the rent increase.
right now, we're making around 85 grand. With what City of Laredo wants our rents to be, y'all's, the set amounts, we would only be bringing in 87,450. So we're only off by 2 grand just what we were charging. If we were to charge what we're supposed to, we would be making 150 grand, like our
150?
market rents, yes.
So the housing authority, are they charging more rents?
No, their market rents, so when somebody comes in, it's $756 for a 1-bedroom,
No.
$836 for a 1-bedroom,
756 for a studio, 836 for a 1-bedroom, and
42.
942 for a 2-bedroom.
so if we just even went up to that, we would be bringing in 122,000, and only a difference of 37,000.
So you might need to, I know it's a huge difference, but if you really think about it, you have 100 units, well, 90 something.
90 something
They're
units.
subsidized, so this increase will not affect the tenants. What I'm trying to say is you can't have one federal program paying $900 or $800, let me use an example, $800 for a unit, and then we have another federal program, because the subsidy that we provide, that all the city provides is also federally funded, so then you have another, like less. So what could have happened is that on a yearly basis, those were being increased, but it was never requested of ours. And at one point, they were all the same. We didn't pay more or less than someone else. So I don't know when that happened.
So Laredo
but we
Housing
can-
Authority goes by the TDHCA website. Do y'all go by that too?
We go by the HUD, which is similar.
Okay.
So TDHCA gets it, says that's state. So they get it from the federal government. So we get it straight from the federal government because ours is under the home program. But it's basically, it should be the same. The only difference is that the state, the Public Housing Authority has a different way of calculating utilities, and but these are all utilities included, so there would be no calculation. So actually, we should be able to accept those rents also.
Okay, and if we do and we get everybody on that, we're making 122,000 instead of 85.
Do this, propose those, because those are, if you already have one program paying those, it should be. Now, the only issue is gonna be your market rents, right? How hard is it gonna be now to rent your market at those rents? Because we should not be charging market rent lower than we are
How many do we have in
asking
market rent?
federal programs to pay.
There's, off the top of my head, I have no idea.
About
I can get
50
back to you on
units.
that.
About half of it?
50 units. So let's do this. Give me the price, like put it in writing, the prices that the housing authority are paying, the prices that you want to propose, right? The prices that we're paying and the prices that your market rent. We're gonna have to decide everyone's the same across the board.
Yes.
But what the board is gonna have to, the programs are the easy ones, because the programs, the cost is incurred by the program, not by
Not by
the,
the person.
but then that leaves you, because it used to be that you had 20 Section 8 vouchers and 100 from us, so that would only leave you 40 market rent, about, right, 42.
Yeah.
So now, I think if you're saying you only have 14 Section 8 vouchers, then you're gonna have a little bit more market, you're gonna be almost 50. So those market rents are the ones that worry me, because we can't afford to have 50 vacancies, right?
Right.
And if we go too high, we might have to. But then that means that you maybe have to go to Section 108 and tell them, okay, we lowered our rent.
Yeah, and
Because we cannot be paying like different rents.
See, I'm not sure about that because we do have different properties that, do you know what a RIS is?
Yeah.
So there is two different spots where there is a certain, funding from one group and then a funding from a different group, and they're two different,
It's a home program.
yeah. So,
Well, give me an
If you could
example
look
of
at
that,
them
because what happens is that y'all are not structured like that anymore. You all used to. I have another property that they were used to structuring, but you structure it like that because then you promise them. So then you would be telling the home program, I'll charge you all less, but then I'm gonna give you the lowest, like lower income. So I'm gonna give you 30 to 50 income. But if you're charging right now everyone up to 80, like if all your programs, Section 8 might be under 60.
It's 60 or,
The
yeah.
vouchers are they under 60?
Yes.
Under 60, I think. So under 60 and under 80 is a big difference of
It is.
AMI.
yes.
So give me that, propose it to me and we'll research.
Okay.
But right now, I don't think that's the way y'all were doing it. I think it got skewed somehow, and we just need to make sure that we're equitable.
Okay.
And that's there.
Well, the good thing is that there's some positives
There's
here.
potential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's potential. I think that
So,
ultimately,
and that
I think
will
we're
make all
gonna
the
be.
difference.
Absolutely.
I think we have to fall under somewhere between what we're currently getting and those 100. Maybe we don't get the 107 because I'm afraid of marketing all those.
And we're not in the business of making money at the end of the
No.
day.
Right.
No,
So we have to make,
But we have to make
Right.
We need to
payments.
sustain, right. Right.
Yeah, but we'll look at that, and maybe the difference is that we're gonna be charging a lot more than it's, cause it's for these higher income folks, and then these are gonna be for the lower income folks.
Any other comments, questions?
On the payroll, you have positive variance. You still don't have another mechanic?
No,
Maybe having another mechanic will reduce the maintenance expenses, the plumbing and.
That will help. We have a couple candidates that we've been interviewing, and it's just hard to find really qualified people. I mean, we can put a body in place, but if they're not qualified, they could do more damage.
and we're wasting
And
money.
then Sarah and I were talking, and it's actually working with the schedule that we have her on.
2-3 days.
Yeah, so what we're thinking we're gonna do is we may go in a different direction and hire a full-time assistant manager that is physically at the property Monday through Friday, all day. She's available, she goes in and out, and it's working nice, and that will help reduce the payroll and keep it under until we can burn off some of our age payables and get this back stabilized. But that's entirely up to y'all. If y'all agree or disagree, we'll make any decision you think seems fit.
And
But
has
it's
the
actually
maintenance-
working.
Has the maintenance gone up now that we don't have a maintenance person, or it's the same?
It's the same. Yeah, we have other properties that we pull people from, and then we share.
Yeah.
You know, it's give and a take. If we need additional manpower, we pull them.
And we have ads on the internet.
Mhm. So the property's doing, it's fine, it's doing well. You know, the only major issue is when we have plumbing issues, and, you know, that
Yeah.
happens at a house,
That
you
you
don't
gotta-
know.
that you gotta-
It
Yeah,
happens when it's
From the
hot, when it's
construction,
cold.
it's better to subcontract than to have somebody. there all
Right.
the time.
And we can do a lot of it, but there's some lines that are so clogged that we don't have the snake that's long enough, and you have
You
to
still
have a
have to hire somebody
professional.
else.
But there's items we do. We try the first attempt. We call a plumber when we can't get through.
Okay.
And we have lead maintenance at other properties that are not that far away that come over. So we have the resources.
Because you have other properties here, right? So you have your
Yeah,
people.
yeah. And we do that all the time. It's a give and a take. I mean, some
Okay.
days you're gonna need help and some days they're gonna need help. So it just depends.
And if we pull people from the other properties, their hours that they come to Hamilton are allocated to Hamilton. We don't, what is it with the other properties? Everything's allocated to the correct property.
Yeah.
What are the qualifications that you're asking for a maintenance mechanic?
They have to be HVAC certified. Well, that's the main thing, HVAC certified, with experience, with the chiller system.
That's
that's
really.
that's
good.
That's more
Not
like
everybody has
hotel.
I'm sorry.
Or hospitals.
But the gentleman that works there, the maintenance guy, he doesn't have the HVAC, right?
The one that's there right now, he knows a little bit about the HVAC system there at Hamilton because he's been there like a very long time.
But he doesn't
But he's
have
not certified,
He's not
correct?
certified.
Yeah, that's when we pull our
That's when we
lead maintenance from another property. There's a lot of things they can do, but there's certain things that they have to be licensed for.
Correct.
Y'all have any other questions?
Anything else?
On the financials, there is, also, our
Yeah, I was
restaurant
gonna
lease.
open. If nothing else with Capstan, we'll move forward. We're gonna open the floor for discussion on the lease agreement we have on the restaurant. We have Anthony here. Anthony, you can take the floor.
Sorry. I just had a little request. So as far as the head thing, it got pushed back a lot. So we lost a lot of our employees that we hired. So right now we're short-staffed. We can't kind of like work the way we want to, I guess, in a sense. Because we lost those employees. So we're not able to have like our plan out was to have a full menu and everything. On top of that, we lost a lot of capital because we were waiting for the hood to be done and we couldn't move forward with getting permits and stuff like that to open up our business because of the hood. Because the hood was the main focus of the kitchen and we couldn't move forward with our permits because of that. So we were gonna ask if we could have one of the months free or something to kind of like level out our capital that we lost.
So are you open right now or no?
Yes.
When did you officially open?
We opened, I believe, the 8th. We had our soft opening on the 7th, which was just to test our systems, that we officially opened on the 8th.
And they were supposed to pay rent starting when?
October 1st.
October 1st?
Yes. Somewhere, yeah.
We actually just lost a week.
Huh?
So you actually just lost a week?
No, it was supposed to be done in September 5th.
The banquet was not completed until, correct me if I'm wrong, it was the 20th or the 21st? The
Something like
21st?
that, yeah.
Of
Yes,
September.
of September. But once the banquet was completed, we had to wait on the inspection from the fire department. That was done until, was it the 26th or something like that?
Yeah.
I lost all track of time, so.
How much is the rent? How much is the rent?
25.
500 from now to December, and then it's gonna change on January 1st, it's gonna go up.
I mean, you could, or you could also extend what we can do is, you know how we were gonna give them so many months at 25?
We just bump it one more
We
month.
can do that too.
We can do
So
that.
that way you don't lose that, you know how the
Yeah.
2,500 would have come to an end, when did you say?
December 31st, yes.
December 31st.
We can leave it all the way to February.
I mean, you could.
We can bump it,
We can bump it.
and that way
Okay.
you don't lose and we don't lose.
Okay.
If that's okay, you know, I think that's a fair agreement.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that extra month.
Yeah.
So that-
And I'm okay with waiving that, they have a $250 late fee.
We can waive that.
We can waive
That's
that.
not a problem.
I'm not charging them.
So you would want to, so the rent increase would have come December. Do you want to move it, how many?
January.
Just to
To
January,
January,
okay.
31st.
So we'll move that rent increase to January,
Yeah.
okay.
31st.
Well,
31st?
So in February 1st.
February 1st being
They start
effective,
with
yeah.
that. with
And then
that.
the maturity of the contract just moves one month.
Maturity
Yeah.
contract, yes.
And then we also don't have a signed lease copy. We have ours, like, we signed our portion, but there's still not the other person that was supposed to sign.
He responded to me. He responded.
You should have received an email from Genesis.
It was yesterday or the day before, and I received a response saying that it was
Oh.
received from the
Oh.
Kaitot email.
Oh, okay.
In case you
Sorry, my
didn't just-
husband didn't communicate with me then.
In case you didn't, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll forward you a copy
Okay,
of
yeah.
it.
It was just.
I think you needed a signed lease to get something delivered,
Yeah,
correct?
we're trying to get a piece of machinery rented and they need our lease
And Sarah
agreement.
you should have a copy of
I
the
have,
lease.
I have a copy of their signed, it's
Not
not
the
signed by.
executed.
Oh, okay.
Not an
Yes.
executed
Yeah,
lease.
we'll send it to both of you again.
Thank
And
you.
then if you want to send them a memo just with the changes that
Yes,
bumping the,
Something so they can have it in writing.
right.
yes, we'll make the changes. And waiving this month's late fee.
Yes.
Mhm.
This- okay.
And, yeah, just a added comment about, could you all rent like a coffee bar kind of thing in the lobby area to help with money coming in?
Oh.
That was just a
What-
thought that I
what
had
do you
when y'all
mean?
were
What do you
talking.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Renting a piece of the lobby?
Yeah, she's renting the piece of the lobby. I kind of put in like a little
Oh.
coffee bar, like a Starbucks kind of thing, and they just sell like little snacks or coffee or whatever.
But who would do
Something
that?
affordable
You
for
guys?
the people in the building.
You guys would do that?
Inside your.
No, I'm saying like you all could like.
No, it's an like extra.
It's an idea.
Oh,
To
to
get it
Okay.
suggested.
Yeah.
find
Recommendation.
someone. That's not a bad idea.
I was just thinking about it.
There's no
right away.
Starbucks.
There's no Starbucks and they come to
But
my
there's a
office
lot
for
of
coffee.
smaller coffee places, and
Yeah.
it would give them exposure, even if it's limited like 7 or 6 to 10. That would be kind of nice, like a hotel.
Yeah.
You know, you go down, get your coffee, and
I think Rio Alto has something like that they have a little coffee bar, the little hotel right
Yeah.
across from us. They have a little coffee bar.
You want to check into it?
yeah, let's look into
We
that.
can do that. Because I think the residents, once the restaurant opened, the residents of Hamilton were expecting like something affordable to them, maybe breakfast in the morning and stuff, and,
Yeah.
I mean, their
It's
menu
totally
is
different.
totally
Yeah, yeah,
different.
totally
Yes.
different.
Mhm.
So then your menu that you sent us is gonna change, that's not.
It's gonna
That is-
continually change until we kind of like,
Get where you want to be.
yeah, because we lost a lot of kitchen staff during like the whole wait, and we can't, they found other jobs, so we can't find anybody, so we had to cut our menu in a third. So we had to.
So when do you anticipate hiring? How long do you think it's gonna take you to hire?
We're still
You still
looking, yeah.
Are you able to find the talent out there, or are you having a problem?
We can find like the server staff, just because there's a lot of people with no experience and stuff like that.
Have you tried contacting Job Corps? They do have a chef kitchen program. Maybe you can contact them and,
Or
you
workforce
know,
come in?
or Workforce Solutions, Memo does a good job doing that.
How's traffic?
Can I get his email? I'll send it to workforce.
Not as much as we thought, but during the weekends it kind of covers us, yeah.
The email, then,
Oh, yes.
so that I can send it to workforce and see. Come on in.
See Workforce Solution and Job
Oh,
Corps.
this is the lease card.
Sí, it's a copy.
Is it completely? We'll use it.
In job
So,
solution?
so in regards to the
I'm-
needs for
I'm
the
gonna
commercial,
send you
you
an
will
email
email it
from-
to you also? But then we'll email you like the memo to the changes.
Oh,
Just clarification for the commercial lease, so the payment for October, it's gonna be due. We're
Yes.
waiving the late fee for the month of October.
Right.
And we're extending the contract that we was due
Thank you.
2,500 to December, now to be due to January. That's the only changes that we're
Till
making.
February first.
Yeah, February will start the new amount,
Yes.
correct.
The new-
Can I have that in a motion?
Wait.
Oh,
Right now, what were they paying?
250.
2,500.
2,500 is what's
2,500.
due, was due October 1st.
That's the first month that they were gonna pay, right?
Yes.
That would have been their first month.
So, and before that?
No,
They
nothing.
haven't paid.
Like, this would be their first payment.
They're not operating.
Yeah, we said we were gonna charge them until they were operating.
Okay, so the motion would be for?
For the, I'm sorry. Okay, and for the October payment to be due, for the to waive the late fee for this month, and to extend the 2,500 instead of paying to December, it will be included for January. The new amount for February, it's gonna be until February,
The higher, instead of
the
January.
higher amount.
What is the amount?
The higher amount was
3,200 at least.
I thought they were waiving the October payment.
I am sorry.
I mean, unless you wanna do that, or half.
3,100.
Yeah. Then it will be
Okay.
31.
Then it goes to 3,200, but we're just moving everything.
We-
Yeah,
we-
so that'll see
Moving
February
everything
1st.
over.
Yes.
Even this one too.
Yes.
That
We're
all-
just
Oh,
gonna
yes,
bump
you
it
might
one
have
month.
to.
So then they wouldn't pay,
They start-
they wouldn't pay
correct.
that.
Oh,
Okay, so, yeah, so if we
So
bump it a
technically-
month, then they would not have the October payment.
Right.
There's no payment in October, which includes the late fee.
Right, the payment for October is gonna be in November.
Okay,
So
so you
that-
are
so that
So we
forgiving
bump
this,
everything,
okay.
We're
we
bumping
bump
some.
everything one
So we're,
month.
yes, all we're doing is moving it.
Right,
Okay,
All we're doing is moving it, so they don't have to pay us October.
correct.
They'll start paying November the 1st.
First payment would be due November 1st.
For 25.
so what we'll do is, we're gonna,
Move the lease.
move the lease
Yes.
from October. Well, cause really,
Yeah,
remember,
we'll
it was gonna
adjust
start
that.
here, but we didn't start it because
Right.
of the operating. So then this is gonna read now November to December,
Right.
well, November to January,
January.
and then,
And then February,
Or October
February.
dates could be prorated,
prorated.
based on
Yeah,
when
because
they
you went-
started.
You suggested that they paid October, and then we just moved,
Yeah,
you know, the
Like, we
extended
just moved
2,500
these a
dollars.
month.
Now you're saying that we're gonna waive October?
was if we bump,
So
it,
we're gonna
if
bump
we
everything
it,
up?
we're not gonna
No,
bump
we're
it,
not,
we're gonna
we're just
extend it.
extending the
Extend it,
2,500,
The
period.
2,500.
but then
yeah.
they wouldn't pay in October.
They'll still have a savings for about, what is it, $700?
They still
$700.
have,
They're gonna have to
in
save it in
October,
their
they went
savings.
into operations in the month of October,
October 8th.
October 8th. So they're paying October $2,500. We're just extending the December deadline of 2,500 through January 1st.
So they won't see the
Yes.
increase. So they won't see this.
$700 that we're
Yeah.
saving them, but
Yeah, but
October,
they're-
Because they signed the lease in June. So it was July, August, and September that we were working, trying to get the vehicle working, but that still gave them time to rehabilitate the units and get their inspections. So October 1st around was due for 2,500 all the way to December.
so now we're saying that they're still due for October like normal, except that we're extending the 4th month, 2,500.
The thing is that they just started working October the 9th. So how are they gonna pay October?
How are your sales right now?
I mean, it was budget, I mean, I'm sure they have a budget.
It's not what we want it to be, but we, what do you call it? We're okay.
The October, we prorate.
I mean, we're trying to be fair, and we're not here to make a killing or anything, but just to be fair, and they're just starting, so.
Well, then that's different, but yeah.
So
we have to
if
reward.
you wanna do that, then we need another
So
motion.
my motion would be, they don't pay October, and they will start paying in November.
The first payment would be in November.
The increase of the rent, instead of being December the 31st, will be January the 30th.
So then the new rent, the new 3,100 would go in
February
the
1st.
And to
then the
July.
The other
And then
increases have to be
the
pushed
second
out.
increase, could you also motion?
Yeah,
So they'll have a savings of
and then the second,
No, but let's just change it because they're changing.
Yeah.
Just change the dates.
Yeah.
All you're doing is changing the
And then
dates.
here, so then the second increase of
we'll
thirty-two
bump it
hundred
one
will
month,
be
instead of July the 1st, will be August
August
1st
to,
to July the 30th.
Yeah, you extend it by a month.
and then here,
We'll
this
put-
would be,
Move 1 month to
August.
August the 1st.
Can we just waive October and then just
Just
leave
leave
the
everything
contract
as
it
is?
is?
As
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
extending the 3,200 plus.
And the
And then leave the
contract
contract as
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
That works too.
$4,000.
That works too.
I think that's easier for everybody.
It's easier if we just, say, your first payment's due November 1.
Because then we're doing double.
Okay,
instead of
so
just
really,
one.
the only thing is gonna change here is just, the first payment is due November
Yes.
first. That's the only thing I'm gonna
Everything's
change.
the same then.
Okay, so
Let's
the
change
new
the
motion is,
Yeah, I
We
just
waive-
had an idea, but the October wouldn't be prorated since they just started in October the 8th.
Let's just
we'll
wait the
just
whole,
wait
let's just wait
October, they
the whole
start
month.
paying in November.
Okay.
Without extending the savings.
Without.
Yeah, let's just
through
wait the whole
February.
month.
Okay.
They're still trying to get their stuff together and hire people and whatever, so to be fair, just wait the month.
Yeah, that'll
Start,
make
start
it
November the 1st.
easier.
You save some money and go hire your people.
That makes it a lot easier. So the motion is to waive the October rent.
Why don't you do the coffee bar?
And to amend the contract just to.
With the savings we just gave you, buy the coffee and sell it.
So this is,
Okay.
you wanna
So I would like to-
that's all we're gonna do. We're
If
gonna
ever
have
in the
that.
future y'all want to paint
I'll give it to you.
the lobby,
See,
you
no,
have a
alright.
great idea.
Just November first.
I want
We
to
can
say
talk
that
about that too.
We have a
he did
resident
all the
painting
work
party.
at the restaurant, and it looks like amazing. So everyone gets
We're gonna see it in a minute.
Maybe we can have the next meeting.
No, we're gonna eat right there.
We're gonna go eat.
We're gonna eat. After here, we're gonna go eat.
To make it official.
Okay, so the motion on the table will be to waive the October payment and then just to change the contract to read that the rent will start November 1st.
Correct.
Do we have a second by Jorge Gonzalez? Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Everybody against? Motion carries. Congrats. Got your free month.
Yeah, 1 month.
So the food better be good.
If you might need some maintenance when you're looking for your.
Is this for the lobby?
I have one last thing for the board. We received a form from Capstone to allow, for the board to allow them to go into the loan website.
System.
Yeah, their system. They told me in the original email that it was like to, run mortgage reports or view balances. So I sent them an email and asking them, was it gonna be just access to view? And run reports? And I haven't received a response. So that we can go ahead and, if it's that, I recommend for us to, for the
Give
board
access?
to give them access just to view.
If it's just
Not
to
make
view,
any
yes.
changes, not allow.
Can you control that so that they just view?
We don't have the.
We don't have access, but we can, when we send them, we
Yeah,
can say
the
this,
bank can do
this
that.
is just for viewing purposes. We can make that so big.
Do we need a motion for that?
I would suggest it.
Okay.
If you feel more comfortable, because you will have to
We will make a
sign off.
motion to give Capstone access to view just information on the
So what is he
loan.
saying?
Nothing
The
but,
first page,
This one?
yes. But would they need to modify that form in order to get it approved first?
What does it say up here?
It only says that to give them access. But it
Well,
doesn't say.
he can sign it, he could only viewing access, he can write
Well,
it here.
yeah, we can just
That's
put
fine.
view only.
If you get the, I would just say, sign it here, and you can just put for viewing, viewing access only.
okay. Before I sign it, so the motion is to give access to view the loan account on their system. Do we have second?
So,
Second.
what is the purpose that you guys want access to?
Because when we do the financials and close out and we look at replacement reserves, we have to be able to look at the loan statement, the mortgage statement. And a lot of clients have that to where they have to provide the info, and then the person that provides the info is always busy and never available. So it causes a delay in the final production of the financials. So that's why they would like to see it, and they tie the numbers together.
And I think we've given them access before, it just, I think.
It's very common.
I think I don't know how often I've seen that form before, so I think, they've requested access before. And again, I think right now, you wouldn't have anybody else to provide that information, like, nobody else has access. I don't even think anybody on the board has access. We can request that access too if you all want, but I don't think anybody on the board, I don't think anybody in staff has. So someone has to have access to that, right? Someone has to be able to put out those reports.
So do we have
All right, we'll see, thank you so much, we'll see you in a
Right
minute.
there.
So again, we have a second.
Congrats.
A second by Mr. Juan
Juan
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, not
Everybody-
Juan.
Got it.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries.
There's one last item.
Yep.
Okay.
Just one more.
So Sarah, you're gonna provide us with the rent rolls on the end of the month, of each month, and also the housing authority, market, and home PDRA rent differences, right?
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
can have it.
And then with that will come like a proposal, like you all proposed this. And then we can bring it.
But let's try and do it as soon as possible so we can start.
Yeah, no, I have the
pushing
Excel
this,
sheet.
Because before it would take forever and nothing
Yeah.
happened.
I know, and we're seeing a big difference.
Big difference, yes.
Thank you.
The last item I would just wanna ask, I don't know if there's been any update to the other commercial property leases, cause I think they're all expired leases.
Now that you mention it, yes, they're expired, they're on a month-to-month, so.
That might be another way that,
Another way that we can increase because, or
Yes.
we wanna increase their rents
You might
because
wanna
they haven't
propose.
had one in the last, since COVID, 2 years.
yeah, you might wanna propose that one, especially now that we got the restaurant at a higher,
Mhm.
then, you know, that square footage might have to,
And we adjusted. The
might
commercial
have to
rent.
be adjusted.
No, they just took them off. It's just the units, but they're not at what they should be paying. I would see that.
And then were you able to get the descriptions on the balance sheet accounts that have been requested for funds?
Crystal sent that to you.
No, it's fine.
I haven't received anything. I
Let's do a
talked
conference call.
to Emmanuel, I don't remember his name, his last name.
Anything else on item number 6?
No.
Okay, item number 7, discussion with possible action on the renewal of the annual property insurance.
We just need to ratify it because the policy's been renewed. And so it's just to ratify the approval for the.
So, you wanna make
I abstain. I have to abstain.
so I'll make a motion to ratify the purchase of the insurance as it has already been purchased, if we can have a second. Ms. Montoya, thank you. Everybody in favor? Everybody against? One abstain, Jorge Gonzalez abstain.
Yes.
Motion carries. Any other items?
The renewal.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go back to the, before you adjourn.
We'll reopen item number 5, I'm sorry, number 6 with Capstone.
So, we have a recommendation to increase some of the commercial space. It appears that they're around $400 below. So if we have approval, we can give them a renewal. They're month to month right now and push that 400. Or any amount.
Do we think that they'll rent them at an additional 400? What are they paying right now?
What I'm not sure what the.
One of the commercial,
The post
the.
office.
Because one of them has two.
It's the Western Union, he's paying $1,200.
1,200, the Western.
1,200.
And for
1,200,
one location.
one location. Mr. Pena is paying $726 for one and $650 for the second one. So he rents those 2 spaces.
That's just,
I think
those
we
are the
do
only
a
ones, right?
gradual-
If you bump them
gradual increase.
$400, they're gonna say, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I think we do a gradual
So maybe-
increase.
And maybe we do half, do $200
Do
and see
200.
And tell them in
Or
a
like
year
we
we'll
did,
increase another 2.
Yeah, and in a year, we'll do
Or do
another
100, then another 100, and 100.
I mean, you don't wanna end up with empty spaces there,
No.
the way things are right now.
They'll take forever to
So,
lease out.
so what we can do is, if you can just approve up to 200, then we can have a one-on-one with each of them and tell them it's been a couple of years, there's been a price increase, we're gonna gradually increase you, and just kind of get a feel for it.
'Cause we're paying the
and get the
electricity too there.
reaction.
Everything.
We
We're
pay
paying,
their electricity.
that was gonna be my question, are utilities included in this?
Yeah, everything.
No, I'd
Well,
say
then I
then
think
higher.
for a hun-
For
I
100.
totally agree.
You know what?
So we can always get a feel
Go
for
up to
it
400
and see what they
and,
say.
and you guys see what they come back with.
Okay.
So you wanna make a motion?
I so move that we bump them up to 400.
I'll second.
Up to 400, with you guys talking to them one-on-one, and then you come back to us, and then we'll approve the amounts.
Okay.
And if they agree that they sign like a long-term,
If they agree
or a
to 400,
year, 1 year
at least a 1 year.
contract.
At least
For a year,
1 year?
for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we don't, if they agree to the 400 increase, we don't have to come back and
No,
talk
just,
about that.
just
Okay.
do it.
As long as it's a 1 year.
One year.
If they balk, then we need to.
Okay.
Then we'll come back.
Anything else? Okay, we'll close item number 16. Any other, if not, motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second by Jorge Gonzalez. All in favor? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.